Hi everybody, I'm coming to you guys with a video that I wanted to put out. This is well, it's not really day one anymore, but this is like an early review about the Monsters Arena, sort of my opinions on what it is, um, how it is currently, and what they could tweak to make it more engaging in the future. Because I know the devs want some feedback, and I'm sure if you guys haven't done it yet, or if you have already done it yet, you probably have your opinions of your own. So let's talk about it. So, if you don't know what Monsters Arena is, it's a limited time mode right now for this banner where you'll get to play with some monster cards that normally you probably wouldn't even chase after in the chaos because some of them can be pretty expensive in your deck. So what you need to do is you go into the training, you do your tiers of training here, then you go into the arena and you do the arena that you're meant to do for that level. Then you go back to the training, you do the next level of training, then you go back, then you do the next arena, and then you keep going back and forth until you finish all the training. And then that unlocks like the end arena matches where you just go back to back to back to back. And that's basically the gameplay loop. And what you're getting from the training is monster cards, which also have set bonuses of 2 to 3 or 2 and 4, depending on like what set they are. And monsters either have 1 or 2 sets that they belong to. That's basically the gist of what's going on with the content here. And I mean, the rewards they're decent, they're pretty good. It's currently only a one-time reward, so in the future, I don't know if this is going to be a monthly, a weekly, a seasonal, or if it's never going to reset, similar to, I assume, how Spiral Tower is going to function, where it's you go through it, and once you clear it, you're done. For the rewards that you can pick up, though, doing all of the missions and whatnot, just basically just playing through the arena, and once you finish it, you're going to be rewarded with 1,200 gems, 10-ish prism lenses, and then there's some other stuff that you pick up as well. I say the 10-ish prism lenses because there are a couple that you get for completing challenges, which we'll talk about later. But just for a reference, it took me like a rough estimate of like 4 to 6 hours. It was like around 5 hours to do this. And going on for the rest of this video, I do want to preface that I only used the rental characters, which is what I'm going to talk about now. So, there are characters that you can use in the Monsters Arena that are rental characters. So they already have a gear set. They have their own save data, so they have their deck and the gear and whatnot. They're already level synced to whatever they're supposed to be for that. And I went through the entire content using only the rental characters instead of my own characters, which are much higher level than the rentals. So, just to let you know, my experience is from what I would assume is supposed to be like what the devs intended, or at least what the devs at the bare minimum wanted as the power level. Because you can unlock this content at, I believe, Captain level 30. So, being able to do content that's like 120, obviously you would probably want to use the rental characters unless you like really speed ran your content here to get to Monsters Arena. For some reason, you're speed running to do Monsters Arena. But I do really enjoy the rental characters. I think being able to try out the different characters in the roster, especially if you don't own them. Like, I don't own Hugo or Leia, Rita, like Veronica as well. Like, I don't own these characters on my account. So being able to play on some of the missions in the Monsters Arena while you trying out those characters as well was it was very nice. I enjoyed being able to try out the other characters, and I'm sure also it'll help newer players if they were to do this content sort of try out other characters and be like, oh, I want to use my guaranteed from the normie banner to pick Orlea because I kind of like how she plays in the Monsters Arena. I kind of like her kit, and now that I've actually tried her out, like I guess I'll guarantee her. The set bonuses were also pretty cool. Some of the ones that I really liked was Giant's Tyranny. That one was very useful. I did like that a lot, especially when I was playing Rita or any of like the big hitters like Haru and stuff. That one was really fun. I like the defensive one. I forget what it's called off the top of my head, but you'll see it right here. Some of the sets are pretty cool. The one that lets you draw more cards, that one's also neat. I think conceptually, a lot of like the set bonuses and stuff are pretty cool, and it'd be nice if they continue adding on to this in the future. Also, the other thing that is really nice is that this is not time gated. If they time gated the limited mode, that would have sucked. Like imagine like day one you could only do the beginner, like missions, the beginner training, and then do arena 1. Then day 2 you do like the novice training, and then arena 2, and so on and so forth. That would have sucked. So if they do end up putting this as a permanent game mode in the future, or they do some sort of rotation with it where they put it in and then take it out, then put it in, whatever they decide to do in the future, if this is going to stick around, do not time gate it, please. Because otherwise I feel like there's going to be a lot of people that would do like I would do. And if it's time gated for a certain amount of time, but it's there for, say, like the full season, but it's time gated, I'm just going to wait like 11 days until the full content's out and then just do it all at once. I'm not going to go there and like daily do like a few fights for like a minute and then leave, like take my reward and leave and come back. Like I might as well just like grind it all out when it's out. Like time gated for this content, I don't think would be good at all. So that was, I'm not trying to glaze this mode up too much, you know, like obviously there are some things that are a bit hit or miss for me. For instance, the amount of battles there are for the difficulty that the content currently is. Using only the rental characters, I was able to blast through the entire thing. I didn't have a problem at all, except for the Crimson Arena, which I'll talk about later in this section. But the first 6 arenas having 5 battles where you go in, you do a battle. The battle is only 1 wave. So you go in, you do the battle, you kill it round 1, round 2, depending on what you're doing. You have to leave. Then you have to accept that you've won. It takes you back to the like arena screen. Then you have to enter the second battle. And you do that 5 times for each arena. I don't really like that. I feel like they could cut it down, because once you get past the first 6 arenas, which is basically like the training arenas, the battles are only 3. There's only 3 battles. So if they wanted to, I feel like they could just cut the first 2 battles off of each of the first 6 arenas. Just drop it to 3, so it's all consistent. All the way to the end for the throne arena, which is just 1 battle. But it is 5 waves. Or if they still want to keep the amount of mobs there are for like practicing with the monster cards, practicing with the sets and stuff, take the first 2, like cut the first 2 battles, but add those to the other battles in the arena. So basically what I'm trying to, it's kind of hard to explain, but basically instead of 5 battles, cut it down to 3, but the mobs from the first and second battle, just add those as a second wave. So the first battle would have 2 waves, then the second battle would have 2 waves, and then the last battle would be like, you know, just the last battle. So I think that would be, if they wanted to go that route, that would be much better than 5 battles where you have to enter and leave and enter and leave and enter and leave. Just do like waves if you want to keep it the same balance. Also, speaking of difficulty, I can't say for sure how it is by the end with Throne Arena. If you're using like your own characters, like this is probably a breeze, depending on if you have farmed good save data or if you are pretty casual and you don't really do chaos that much and you just get on for dailies. But for the Crimson Arena, it asks for a set bonus for the mana set bonus, which the interaction with the arena effect it's very odd, and I don't know if this is a bug. This might be a bug, but if a skill card initially costs 0 with the arena interaction, it'll bump it up to 1. But then with the set bonus that they want you to use, you can't ever drop it back down to 0. It will always stay at 1. So it was very difficult for me using the rental characters because you had Hugo and Veronica. So you had a lot of upgrade cards. And I I had a better time and a lot more fun using Giant's Tyranny, where if I just leaned into the fact that everything got increased by 1, and I play 2 cost or higher cards, then I would just get 2 AP back. I just did that to sort of counteract the debuff instead of the intended way that they wanted you to do it. Like I said, I don't know if this is a bug, and by the time that this comes out or in the future, that gets changed. But as of the launch, because I played this when it came out, like the day it came out, that interaction was not in the game. You could lower the other ones. If it costs like 1, went up to 2, you could lower it back down to 1. A 2 cost 1 that would go to 3, you could lower it back down to 2. Like, hell, even like some of the other cards, like attack cards and stuff, like you could drop them to 0, even if they were initially like 1 or 2 costs or whatever. But for some reason, the Crimson Arena itself, you couldn't ever drop skill cards to 0. So that's just like my warning, and if it's fixed by the time that this is out or that you're doing Monsters Arena, then don't worry about this at all. But for my experience with it, the set bonus, it kind of debated me, and Giant's Tyranny was just like way better, honestly. So I think that's basically all of like the, things that are like, in my opinion, needed to be changed or stuff. Experiences that I had that were a bit more not leaning on the favorable side. But I mean, some improvements that they could obviously have in the future is a filter system when you're setting up your strategies. Currently, not every monster card is in the Monsters Arena, and I'm sure if they tried to add more monster cards in, then they'd have to rebalance certain sets. They might have to add a secondary typing, like a secondary set bonus to some cards that only have 1 set bonus on them. And there might be like an odd number to really fit everything in, or it just might not mesh properly. So I'm not worried about that too much. In the future, like Season 3 or whatever, when they add more monster cards, then they might add in some of the cards from Season 1, some of the ones that are missing, and make new set bonuses with that. That's not an issue. But the issue is that if they start adding more monster cards in, they would probably want to add some sort of filter system or a way to highlight certain cards that you'd want. So like if you're looking for Giant's Tyranny, Fatal Strike, Mana Amplification, like something like that, instead of having to scroll through and find it just based off of the icon, it would be easier to just filter through. So that's just a recommendation. I'm sure people would say that as well. Like, yeah, obviously more quality of life is good. That's, in my opinion, not something that's needed at the moment, but if they do make this a permanent game mode and they start adding more cards, I feel like they really need to look into putting a filter in there. Also, they should probably add more challenges, because right now there's only 2 challenges. One of them is like really easy. I did it on my first try with rental characters. The one where you finish Throne Arena in under 10 turns, or it's 10 and less, so it's something like that, but, less than 10. And then the other one is to do it without having any set bonuses, which I haven't done at the time of this. But I am trying to see what it would look like using just the rental characters. So I know I could probably do it with my own characters, but with the rental characters and like the sort of what they've sort of balanced for, I guess that's like the intended, like they want it to be doable with the rental characters. Otherwise they wouldn't just give you rental characters if they all sucked, right? But I feel like there should be more challenges. Like have one that's like beat the Throne Arena with 18 different combatants. And the reason I pick 18 is because there's currently only 18 rental characters. So that's like one that incentivizes like do it with like all of the rental characters, like beat Throne Arena with all the rental characters. They could do it where it's like just do it with like 9. So use like 3 different teams essentially. Something like that. Just like we need more challenges. Do one where it's like beat an arena while taking no damage. Or there's like so many like there's so many challenges that I could think of, that a lot of people could think of, like not just me, just that they could just add. And the rewards for doing the challenges that they have set up currently, they're not like oh my god, like it's gonna break the economy or anything. Like it's 2 prism lenses, and then I think it's like a little bit of money. So it's nothing like too crazy, but it is something that can incentivize people that enjoy the mode, that once they clear it, they don't have a reason to really stick around and continue doing it. So it gives them something to like work towards if they want to, if they enjoy the content. If they don't have to do it. They're not going to really miss out. Like prism lenses, like sure they're a little rare, but it's not like you need the prism lenses. They're not like anchors. You don't get to like get new commands or anything off of them. So it's just a nice little bonus for people that like the content, that want to keep playing the content. So overall, I don't want this video to be insanely long because the first time I recorded this, it was like over 30 minutes. So I'm going to wrap it up here. I think I basically said what I wanted to say here, and basically just to wrap it up, I think the mode is good. I think it's okay. It's good. I don't do number scaling or anything. I'm not going to rank this and be like, oh, it's like a B tier game mode compared to like, you know, the Chaos or the Great Rift or anything like that. I think for what it is right now, especially because they're testing the waters, I like what they're doing. I just think they could do a little more, and I hope they do a little more in the future. And I hope the rewards as well, like adding the more challenges. I think if you add interesting challenges and stuff, it'll be nice. Just what I hope they don't do is don't tie it to a daily, don't tie it to a weekly, none of that stuff. I don't want to have to log in for my dailies to do like Sim Room and an excursion, but then also be forced to play an arena in Monsters Arena. I don't think people would enjoy it as much if they're forced to do the content. Just have it as like a side thing that people can do. And I don't know if it would be better as like a 3-week rotation, like a banner rotation or a seasonal rotation or what have you. But I do feel like if you do some sort of rotation or you do updates for it, it would be much better to do it in between seasons. Because as we saw between Season 1 Season 2, those 3 weeks, all we really had was like Narsha banner, that was it, and like Dimensional Twilight. So I think having something to do in the lull period that's not too intensive, it's not too intensive, it's not too grind heavy. It's especially because people don't want to grind Chaos for decks that they won't be able to use for like the next 9 weeks. So having this game mode, I think, is like a nice thing for people that want to keep playing the game, that want something to do and like experiment around, just like meme around, have fun. You can make content off of this if you want to do YouTube videos or whatever of like, look at this insane like build I can like break Monsters Arena or Throne Arena with. Like having something to do, you know, just even if it's like a little bit of a rest period. Like you're not forced to do this, and it gives people that really want to keep playing CZN, that want to log in and do something that feels like they're not like wasting their time. Like if there's some sort of something to like work for in Monsters Arena, I mean, hell, put like stickers or something for like beating Throne, like for the challenges, for example, beating Throne Arena and have it like beat it with 18 different combatants. Like that's not every combatant in the game, but that is a lot. Doing that and giving us a sticker for that, like, that's something that people could flex and be like, look, I did it, you know? It's something to work towards. It's not like gonna break the economy. It's not gonna break the balance of the game, but it's something flashy. It's something cosmetic, and people love to do that. I mean, I'd probably go for it, honestly. It'd give me something to do in between seasons. So yeah, that's kind of like where I'm at right now with this content. I would recommend doing it still, if you haven't done it yet, just to get those rewards. Like I said, 1,200 gems. And it takes like 5 hours with rental characters. You could probably do it a lot faster if you have like an OP team of level 60s. So it's not hard. It doesn't take too much time, and it's just one and done. So that's my take on it. If you guys have any opinions on it as well, or you agree or disagree with something that I said, let me know. And we could talk about it in the comments too. And I don't know if a dev is gonna ever see this. I'm sure there's going to be lots of opinions about this content going around online, and hopefully they take all the opinions and the criticisms and the praise, and they can work to refining this content and making it better for the future. Because the more content there is, like, obviously that's a good thing. Otherwise, we're going to have content drought. So yeah, that's it for now. I'll see y'all when I see you next time. Bye-bye!